Hello, it's Jesse Mason from Teach Me with Butter Coffee. Now, you might not prefer the taste of butter coffee at first, I didn't, but chances are you're going to love how butter coffee makes you feel. More energy, clearer mind, you might even lose some weight. I did. So here's how to make butter coffee. Today we're using the pour-over method, so our first step is to rinse our filter with boiling hot water. This mitigates some of the paper flavor from the filter, and it'll warm the cup so our drink stays nice and hot. After a few moments, we'll discard the water, setting aside our coffee cone. Next, we'll add 2 tablespoons of unsalted, grass-fed butter. I'm using Kerrygold. If this is your first butter coffee, maybe start with just 1 tablespoon of butter. Then we'll add 2 tablespoons of MCT oil, which is just a mix of coconut and palm kernel oils. If this is your first butter coffee, definitely start with just 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. Next, we replace our coffee cone, add some freshly ground coffee beans, and start brewing. And remember, the better the bean, the better the buzz, so patronize your local roaster. We'll bloom the grounds first with just a splash of hot water. This releases some carbon dioxide and other gases trapped in the roasting process. Then we'll slowly spiral the water over the grounds, but never touch the sides of the filter. When we're halfway done brewing, we'll remove the coffee cone and stir our coffee. A vigorous stir with a spoon or fork would do just fine, but we'll give it the sensual foaminess of a latte with a handheld milk frother. I got this one for less than $20 on Amazon. So we'll just stick it in here and give it a spin, with a little slow-mo for dramatic effect. I took this fabulously fatty footage with my 5S. At the end of this video, I'll link to another 5S project of mine. Last winter, during the polar vortex, I built a cheap microscope with my iPhone to catch ice crystals in the act of forming. It was pretty cool. No, seriously, it was 10 below. I got frostbite shooting that video. Anyway, our coffee cone goes back on, and we finish brewing the coffee. While waiting for the last few delicious drops of coffee to fall, now's a good time to put away and clean our supplies. And our butter coffee's ready. We'll give it a taste. Like sunshine in a cup. And that's all there is to it. I hope you give butter coffee a try. If you do, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for more Teach Me videos like this one and these two. And until next time, happy learning.
Hey, this is Brian O'Leary, and today I'll be showing you how to make Cuban coffee. Traditionally, Cuban coffee is made with un cafetera at home, or a mocha pot as it's called in English. You're basically going to fill the bottom chamber with water and the center basket with coffee grounds. The cafetera should then be placed on a stovetop where the water will be brought to a boil. This will fill the bottom chamber with steam, forcing the boiling water towards the funnel through the grinds into the upper chamber, where your delicious Cuban coffee is collected. First, you'll want to set your bean grinder 2 notches above its finest setting, usually labeled for espresso. Nice. You'll then separate the top and bottom chamber and remove the basket. Grab the bottom chamber and you'll notice a steam valve. Make a mental note when pouring in your filtered water that this pressure valve is essentially right above the water line. Always keep the water below the steam valve. Once your water is poured into the bottom chamber, grab the basket and pour in your freshly ground beans to the top, and take a coffee tamper and apply roughly 50 pounds of pressure. You can take a scale when doing this until it's in your muscle memory. Turn on your stovetop to medium and place la cafetera on the stove. While the water is heating, you'll want to throw in a few spoonfuls of sugar into a cup to prepare la crema. Right before the cafetera starts to gurgle, it will release a small amount of coffee into the top chamber. This is the bit we'll use for the crema, as it's the strongest and thickest part of the batch. This is the only part of the process you'll have to learn by trial and error. You'll want enough coffee to create a paste, but not enough to make it too liquidy. Now, I accidentally used my wife's flavored beans for this video, and the artificial flavoring seemed to have prevented the coffee from forming a good crema. Luckily, I made another batch the next day and took pictures. This is what you want the paste to look like. Once the gurgling slows down to a near stop, remove the cafetera from the stove and slowly pour it into the paste while stirring. This is what a complete crema should look like. There you have it, delicious Cuban coffee made with un cafetera. Seriously, the easiest, most affordable way to make coffee. No reusable filters or giant machines taking up valuable countertop space. And cleanup is almost non-existent, just rinse with water. Never use soap on the mocha pot, just make sure to dry it reasonably well.